Well, I guess I don't have to dance now. No,
Yes.
yeah, okay, good. So, I'm a chemist by training. I like to connect everything to chemistry, just my biasness. I'm making declaration of being biased. Now, in chemistry, there is a periodic table that the inspiration of periodic table was the Sanskrit letters. The person who got this periodic table, he had a friend who knew Sanskrit, and he got all the inspiration from him. Archimedes got, in Russia, he got this inspiration from this Sanskrit friend. Because I think there was some discussion this morning where we had Dr. Tony Nader talking about, and Raji Malhotra also, that so the way the letters are pronounced, it's not like A, B, C, D everywhere. It's like ka, kha, ga, gha, comes from here. Cha, cha, ja, ja comes from very systematic. And that's how periodic table was also discovered. And actually he had, I know you cannot read it, just have to take my word. You can laugh at it if you want to. He actually named some of the elements Sanskrit name at that time. Now it, of course, use some other ways, and I'm sorry this, I hope you can read it. Here what I'm trying to say is that when COVID came and coronavirus was named, it's interesting, it was named like alphabetical, A, alpha, delta, that like, and then when it got to different letters, so many variations came to new in Greek letters. So WHO said, no, don't say new because everybody will think it's new. It's something new. So the next letter was C, XI. And Chinese objected to that because they said, if you say C, that means it's from us. Actually, eventually it was from them, but they're very powerful. So then after that came Omicron. So it became Omicron, and they never named anything after that, just Omicron. So, of course, they didn't have this, Indian bureaucrats were sleeping, so they didn't object to that Om is really the chanting of, it comes in Hindu or in every Indian dharmic traditions actually. So this is what it means, they were able to get to C, and then they got to Omicron, and then all the virus names so far is now Omicron related. I will come to that a little bit later. What I wanted to say here is that the 5 elements come from something called Tanmatra. I don't have time to really go into that, but this is from Sankhya philosophy. So there is the power that produces these 5 elements. It's sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. And this in chemistry plays a major role. The way we have started working, when we design any drugs, we look at the structure. And then we connect with some enzyme or DNA or something, and then if that works, then we make that drug. So that's, in case of regular chemistry, it's structural chemistry. But in case of Ayurveda, it's more like functional chemistry, whatever it does. Then I changed my mind over a period of time. It turned out that the functional chemistry is not really functional chemistry, it is sensory chemistry, because how you feel, how with your senses. And then furthermore, when I learned a little bit more about it, I called it Tanmatra Chemistry, because that's really the senses are creating or sensing that kind of chemistry. And so I teach chemistry, Ayurveda chemistry in JNU these days. And so I wanted to justify. The taste is Rasa. And chemistry is in Sanskrit or Hindi, it is called Rasayana Shastra, which means it is really the taste. The chemistry itself is just the taste. So I gave my students, this is one of the students' assignment, and talking about so much, Raji Malhotra talked about AI, and everybody talks about AI. I have a AI Upanishad written book also. I gave my students assignment that they should use AI. But I wanted them to determine what is Tanmatra Chemistry. Nobody has worked it out yet. So the students went and looked for it. This is pineapple, as you can see. And so this student, she found all these other things, which is Ayurvedic. But then she went to AI and found all the chemicals and biochemicals, how they react in the brain, how the sweet, sour, refreshing, tingling sensation comes. So this, to us, looks like, well, this is just a taste. But there are at least 100 reactions that are happening before you get that taste. So your body is full of chemistry. And that is what we are calling Tanmatra Chemistry. And so when you take something in your mouth, it not only this chemistry, but it gets to your brain. And how you think also has an effect on you. So there are so many aspects of this Rasa chemistry or Tanmatra chemistry that nobody has really studied. So this came, I mean, we are sitting here in MIU, and I have an opinion that since there are experience-based students here, they all have to, I understand that they all have to learn at least TM, correct? So they are experiencing something, and if they can bring that out, did I finish my time? Yes. Okay. I got 5 minutes. That's a lot. So that's really meant for laughing. Please do. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, this chemistry that affects the brain and other things also. Now there is physics of speech. You know, when I'm talking, there is a lot of vibrations going on in my body, and in your body also. When you're listening, it's all physics that is going on, and it's interesting. You know, the male and female sounds frequency is different, and this is processed at different places. Of the baby also. They have now done research that even when the father talks, baby in the womb also listens. And you have a good relationship if you talk to your baby who is not in your womb, in your wife's womb, but still there is a connection. So the sound is very important. And there is a whole biology of how the sound is created. And they have found the effect of sound is upon each atom. Talking about Atma, the word atom is the source of the word, the word Atma is source of the word atom. Of the body, by the way, we have 10 to the power 29 atoms in our body on average. So there's a huge number. For each atom resounds on all glands, on the circulation of the blood, and the pulsation of sound has its effect. So there is so much research get done. I mean, talking about TM and yogic mantras and other things also have a lot of effect on our body because of all that. So now I want to briefly talk about Navarasa that I really wanted to talk. Since you already laughed at one, so that's kind of Hasya Rasa is already come. So there are 9 rasas. Sringara, I mean the emotions written there too, love and beauty. Hasya, I just tried to do Karuna Rasa, Rodra Ras, Veer Ras, Bhayanak Ras. Bhayanak is like, I was thinking that's what I will do, try to do that. Adbhut. So all these rasas they affect various parts of our brain activity. And then there is Achar Rasa, which is also related to TM, the practitioners here. Here the people are practitioners. They are not just bookish knowledge people. So your Achar means your conduct is very important to have. So you will have Sattva, Rasayana will be created in such a way that will affect your way of working. And then you can, you just heard all this discussion about the Ayurvedic products. You don't need to get external drugs. If you fix your food and habits and also sing some songs, that will help you. Ayurveda offers unique solutions called Achar Rasayana. It has an impact on Navarasa that I already talked about. Key rejuvenation is that, the behavioral things are also very much important for part of the Navarasa. So if you are a truthful person, reduces internal conflict and cognitive dissonance, which are major sources of mental stress. 80% people who go to doctors or hospitals go, according to CDC, go because of the stress of one kind or the other. Also, you don't get angry. If you don't get angry, that prevents pitta. Ahimsa, non-violence. I want to just say a little bit difference of what people say about ahimsa is non-violence. It means non-violation. We are talking about prakriti. You do not violate your prakriti. That's non-violation. You do not violate anybody else's prakriti. So it's not only cutting somebody's head off, but also you want to be very careful in respecting people for whatever they are. And then, so what you have is, I just said that, when you are not angry, it stabilizes your pitta. When you have daya, I mean compassion, boosts your dopamine, oxytocin. Oxytocin is considered as the hormone that makes connections with people, or sometimes call it love hormone. And sama and dhiram, all this courage also acts as a best anxiety medicine, if you have that. Then you have behavioral modifications. I already talked about truthful, ahimsa, compassion, daya, and all that. I already kind of discussed. The only thing it gives you, reduces cognitive dissonance, the mental stress, internal conflict, actions, conflict, values consistently, truthfulness minimizes the dissonance. So there is a chemistry going on, Tanmatra chemistry going on in our body when we have all these otherwise supposed to be doing the right kind of things. So, like I said, dopamine and oxytocin is affected. When you have patience, forgiveness, chama, cultivating patience strengthens the neural connections. And I see that Bandanaji's neural connection is working very hard between prefrontal cortex. I need to disconnect her prefrontal cortex from her mouth so that she doesn't say anything to me. Thank you. That's what I really wanted you all to laugh. So there, it has some social implications. Bandanaji said, "You want 2 minutes I have or no?" Yes, sir. 2 minutes I have. Yes, sir. Okay. I've been watching her. She gets up at 2 minutes. Society. So here you want to make societal and political implications. You can build a crime-free society. You can build character of especially students, very important. Reducing conflicts in the world, if we could do that. And then there is a physics and chemistry of music. So I kind of briefly mentioned, so I'm not going to go into details, but there is a vibration, and then vibration is inside our brain, and then affects our biology. And so we have to act like that. So that's why I think, I'm not sure, I have learned TM, but I'm not sure there is a music for TM. If not, then Dr. John Hagelin is listening, and he believes in all these quantum field theories. Maybe we can create a TM music for people. And so I'm going to a little bit ahead. There is one study, I was talking that I'll come back to this Om. There is one study, when you do Om pronunciation, even if you just call it Omicron, your innate immunity goes up. So I'm again not going in detail, but that has been done. This is one important thing Raji was talking about. So Om is called in Brahman Dharmic in Sanskrit. It's interesting, in Hebrew it's called Amen or Amin. So, and they use Holy Quran, it means recitation. And it's interesting, Quran, my village name in India is Kuruom. And if you really take the bad form of that Quran, many people just call it Quran. So it may be actually connected to that also. So we need to talk to all these people so that we have better unity. And this is my last slide. It's very complicated. It's meant to be, so that you don't understand, and then get amazed with this. See here. So it connects. Last one is important. Thermodynamics is physics, and this is Vedic. Yat pinde tat brahmande, and in thermodynamics, everything involves system and surrounding. And that's the rest of it is chemistry, biology, TM, whatever we say, Raji Malhotra's, all those steps, they're all in part of this. And I hope that you are amazed with this. Please remain amazed. That will be good for your health. Thank you.